More fallout from the arrest of the former Suffolk County Police Chief James Burke, as well as if many of you may remember, those GILGO Beach murders. They're all conflated here. The handling of those and other high-profile cases is causing the county executive to demand the resignation of that county's district attorney. And Fox 1's Cecilia Dowd has more on that.
It was a war of words today at the district attorney's office in Hauppauge. Suffolk County Executive Steve Bellone stood on the steps outside District Attorney Thomas Spoda's office, calling for an end to the alleged culture of corruption in the county.
Tom Spoda, you must resign from this office.
As for Mr. Bellone, his call for my resignation is not based on anything but a personal vendetta against me for investigating and prosecuting people that he is close to.
The accusations kept flying.
For refusing to cooperate and work with federal law enforcement to prosecute crime in this county. For refusing and blocking federal law enforcement. For working on the GILGO Beach serial murder case. For allowing violent criminals to go free, to protect political friends.
The district attorney denies blocking the feds from the GILGO case and says in his career he's prosecuted likely more than 100 public officials. He says this is personal.
The county executive has made and did make in the past multiple personal pleas to me in the presence of other prosecutors not to investigate or prosecute people that he was close to.
Bellone denies making those personal pleas and says that if Spoda does not step down, he's going to Governor Cuomo to take action. We reached out to the governor's office for a response and haven't yet heard back. The county executive says he will be speaking with the governor's office sometime within the next several days. Reporting from Hauppauge, Cecilia Dowd, Fios 1 News.
All right, thank you, Cecilia.
Rich, with the governor under investigation by Mr. Bahar, do you think he might have a few other things on his plate than Tom Spoda right now?
Just step back, though. A county exec calling for the resignation of the DA. The DA turn around and saying, no, he's asked me to look the other way on some of his, my God.
It's everyday life in Suffolk County, Rich. All you have to do is grow up there.
When it all washes out, same thing as in the Skelos case, where the conversations were the most damning and revelatory evidence. When the evidence starts pouring out and you start listening to these wiretaps, I think we're all going to be quite disgusted with what we hear.
Well, and remember, a lot of this, while it didn't start there, the genesis came out from that police chief who was caught telling basically officers to lie and give misleading testimony after they brought in a guy who stole the chief's car, unmarked car, and among the items stolen in there were sex toys. I can't make this stuff up. They brought the guy back to the precinct house, and he personally worked him over and then told the rest of the guys to lie about what happened there. The lies didn't hold.
Rich, I don't know what this adds up to, but it just doesn't sound good.
No, but what I think, I've been doing this for a long time. I've been working out there for a long time. You got a club out there that's been operating with their own rules.
And just
for
what's
a
been
long
reported
time.
is that there has been an incestuous relationship between the DA's office and certain police leadership that it's caused for almost like it's an island out there to itself.
Well,
It's going to amplify the many discussions that we have had here about independent prosecutors and what happens when it becomes that close and it becomes that incestuous. Is it even remotely possible that there would ever be a fair investigation?
Well, sure it is, Jim. And this is one of the things we've talked about in the Malcolm Smith case. It's not federal intervention or nothing. You can appoint special prosecutors. You can bring in the Nassau DA. You can bring in the Albany DA. It's even happened in Long Island cases where private attorneys are appointed as special prosecutors. Just like Schneiderman has now asserted jurisdiction over these police shootings.
But that's the governor's power. I mean, that would be the only person who could step in.
But
Obviously, the county executive has no authority to do anything here.
And Mark, I referenced a TV movie out of this. There's an element to this because this goes all the way back to one of the most heinous cases involving children and a terrible murder of a child where rocks were shoved down an 8-year-old's throat.
Yeah, it happened up the block from my house.
Some of the principals that we mentioned in here were involved.
Well, BURKE was the lead witness in that case, and that's how he began his meteoric or slow, however you want to say it, rise to be police chief there. Look, it's
the club has to be broken up because the system doesn't work right if there's not independence between the prosecutorial authority, the investigative authority, which would be the police, defense lawyers, judges. I mean, if the 4 principal actors in this are not acting independently, you're asking for trouble.
When you go to cover a case in
Doug, who was an ADA out there, has told us stories that will make your head spin.
There's a very fine line out there, if you grow up, and I say this not facetiously, between cop and criminal. You're going one way or the other if you grow up there, and that's it.
Just one small thing for me. The GILGO Beach serial... the idea that the feds offer to help with all of their resources for DNA, et cetera, and were rebuffed at the time, still has raised eyebrows that was referenced here. Okay, coming up next, Eric Garner, Freddie Gray, Tamir Rice, all these cases, they have something in common. They're all caught on tape, and the video went viral. And this is why now the head of the FBI says that could be causing a spike in murders nationwide. We'll discuss.